SOLIDWORKS Design 2026 brings you enhancements across the portfolio. In this video, we'll focus on the new functionality coming to SOLIDWORKS for performance, user experience, and import and export enhancements. This is the transport station. It allows users to control various elements of the Vermeer directional drill while outside the cockpit. Firstly, we know that we have a large step file to import, but that can be time consuming and it will lock up SOLIDWORKS as it's being processed. But not in SOLIDWORKS 2026 using the new Import Model as a Background Process task pane. By clicking the plus sign, I can navigate to a step file or any other neutral CAD file and set it to process in the background. We can even import multiple files in one go, and they'll be listed here in the queue. We can now continue to use SOLIDWORKS as usual, as this big step file cranks away in the background. Okay, back to the transport station. We may want to change the colour of these joystick sub-assemblies to the same red colour as these switches. We'll start by copying the appearance. Next, we'll hit F5 on our keyboard to open selection filters. And now we see there is a new filter components option. This will allow me to click in the graphics area and select entire top-level sub-assemblies or top-level components. We'll control and click the joysticks and paste the appearance to both sub-assemblies. In the past, we would either have to find the sub-assembly in the Feature Manager design tree or use the D key to drill down to what we want using breadcrumbs. Tapping F6 on the keyboard will keep the selection filters toolbar present, but turn all filters off. We'll now left-click the forward-facing loudspeaker and open it using the context-sensitive toolbar. With the selection filter toolbar still open, we'll select the new option to filter features while working on a part. This will let me click anywhere on the model, and faces that are part of the originating feature will highlight. It's a great tool for when you need to edit the part with a very complex design tree, or you can find yourself working on a design that you aren't familiar with. For instance, if I select this filter, all of the fillets that were created with that originating fillet feature will highlight, as well as the associated feature in the tree. I now want to widen the speaker opening, so clicking the sidewall of this speaker will show me which feature is associated to this face, and show the connected dimensions as well. Tapping F6, I'll toggle off the selection filter, and now I can double click the dimension driving the speaker opening and widen it a little. Hitting Ctrl and Tab will take us back to the transport station assembly. Now hitting F5 will hide the selection toolbar. Opening this door will reveal the remote control unit. We'll open it, and I can see that there is some important geometry associated with this part. As with all imported geometry, we may want to interrogate it a little bit to make sure that it is modelled efficiently, so we'll open Performance Evaluation to check it out. We can see that there's nearly 1 million graphics triangles in this part and almost 13,000 faces, so there must be some complex geometry inside the enclosure, like modelled threads on hardware or detailed electronic components. We don't need that level of detail in this part, so we can use the new Select Bodies by Size option. By sliding the slider, we can progressively select bodies by showing that there's a lot of small components inside the enclosure. We'll settle at, say, 5% and click Select Parent Feature, and then OK. Turning on Select Parent Feature will move the selection highlight from the graphics area to the Feature Manager design tree. Now we just need to hit the Delete key and Yes to all, and those bodies will be deleted. Next, we'll hit Tab to hide the enclosure and check if there are any parts that are missed by the previous step. We can see that 8 large screws that mount the joysticks have modelled threads, but they were too big to be selected in the previous command. Let's use the new Select Bodies by Volume feature to quickly select those bodies. Hitting the spacebar will let me choose a view normal to the front plane. Similar to this functionality previously available in assemblies, we'll simply sketch a rectangle in the graphics area to create a volume. Using the arrows, we can enlarge the volume to capture the 8 screws and 2 additional electronic components near the data interface. We'll click Select Parent Feature and then OK. With the parts selected in the design tree, simply hitting the Delete key on my keyboard will remove those bodies from the part. Hovering over the location of the enclosure and hitting Shift and Tab, we'll unhide the enclosure. Okay, let's see the effects of deleting all of those bodies. We'll reopen Performance Evaluation and can see that we have reduced the graphics triangles by over 75% and the face count by over 60. Oh yes, and remember that huge step file that we set to import in the background? Let's check on the progress of that. Great. It appears that the import has completed and took around 2 minutes to finish. Clicking Open File, we can open it and check out what was processed in the background while we were completing other tasks. Together with our TriMech group partners, we're showcasing the latest and greatest enhancements across the SOLIDWORKS 2026 portfolio on our dedicated What's New webpage. There you can dive deep into our blogs and videos that outline everything you need to know about the new release. And you'll also be able to get in touch with our experienced engineers for a tailored look at how SOLIDWORKS Design 2026 could boost your business.